Hello readers, I am Ms Nikki, your Storytime reader. In celebration of Hispanic Heritage Month, our read aloud today is titled My Two Border Towns. This is a loving story of a father and son's weekend ritual. Do you have a ritual you do with your family on the weekends? Perhaps it's making pancakes for breakfast together or going to the park with your grandparents. Family rituals are activities we do with our families that symbolize who we are. I wonder what the character in today's read aloud does on the weekend with his dad. Let's read and find out together. My Two Border Towns, written by David Bowles and illustrated by Erika, Meza. Every other Saturday, my dad wakes me up early. Come on, mijo, he says. Vamos al otro lado. The other side is not so far away, just down the road, right past my school. Mama gives us a kiss and a list. It's different every time we go. I grab my special bag, hold it tight as I follow Dad, thinking of what's inside for my friends. As we drive through town, we pass my favorite spots. Neighbors line up early for Daisy's yummy pastries. At a stoplight, Dad calls to the newspaper man, holding out $1. Aquí tiene, Don Memo. Thanks. Before I know it, we reach the broad river, a watery serpent that glints with the dawn. Dad reminds me Coal Hill Texans once lived here before all this was Mexico, both riverbanks. Now we're two countries. We pay to cross. Morning, says the U.S. Customs Guard, taking Dad's cash with a sleepy frown. On the other bank, the Great Eagle greets us. Dad waves at the soldiers and they tip their caps. No one searches through my bag this time. I say thanks to the Virgen. We drive up the narrow main street till Don Chava flags us down and helps us park. He and my dad shake hands. Le cuido la troca, he says with a smile. You and your boy have fun. This town's a twin of the one where I live, with Spanish spoken everywhere just the same, but English mostly missing till it pops up like grains of sugar on a chili pepper. We have breakfast in our favorite restaurant. Dad sips Café de Ola while I drink chocolate. First up on the list, my dad announces, we visit your tios and pick up Mom's earrings. Down uneven sidewalks, our feet tap, tap, tap to trumpet tunes bouncing out of stores. We weave our way through street-side stalls, chatting with vendors, promising we'll be back. When we reach my aunt and uncle's jewelry shop, I give them big hugs and high-five my cousins. Tio Mateo starts complaining about the town mayor. My brain gets so bored, I can't stop my yawns. My primos whisk me away to play soccer in the vacant lot next door. It gets hot, so we're lucky the paletero comes by. We cool our tongues with paletas, mango, and melon. Suddenly, Dad joins in for a dribble and goal. Then he reminds me we have more to do. Walking back, we check our list. For ourselves, we need Mexican Cokes, avocados, a jar of honey. The list says our friends need t-shirts, chanclas, bottled water. I think they need cold sweet gancitos and lots of chewy glorious too. Dr. Sanchez has Mom's prescription ready, along with other medicine that Dad requests. We load up our truck. Dad gives Don Chave a tip. Before we head for home, there's one last stop. The most important visit, Dad says. We have a duty to care for our gente. I nod and pick up my bag full of my favorite comics, notebooks and pencils, game cartridges. I add the things we bought today. I hope all the kids will enjoy them. As we get on the bridge, Dad pulls to one side. I jump out with the bag and I look for my friend. A line of people camp along the edge. Entire families from the Caribbean and Central America. Refugees, Dad calls them, stuck between two countries. The US says there's no room, and Mexico says it can hardly look after its own gente. Elder sees me and rushes over. His hair is longer than when we first met almost 6 months back. Acere, he shouts. Mi cuate, I reply. We do our special handshake and I give him the bag. Elder's dad joins my dad in the truck. The line crawls on. I show Elder each item, explaining my choices. We give his mother the medicine. She tells me a joke and the other kids gather to borrow comics. Dad honks. Till next time, amigo, I say, hugging Elder and heading for the truck. An hour goes by before we're halfway across. We take out our passports, cards that give us the freedom to travel back and forth. I wish Elder could come to our town, I whisper. We could jump on my trampoline and draw our own comic. Soon, mijo, Dad says. It's unfair to make him wait, since our country has room for his family right now. But when they get their chance at last, we'll welcome them with open arms. All the way home, I imagine a wonderful day when all my friends from the other side can go back and forth between my two border towns, just like me. The end. Today's Read Aloud shows us the vibrancy, diversity, and complexity of the communities who live on the US-Mexico border. Good readers make connections. Were you able to make a text-to-self connection? Yes, maybe this story reminds you of something from your own life experience, or perhaps you were able to make a text-to-text connection. This story reminds you of a similar story you read. Or perhaps you were able to make a text-to-world connection. We all have ideas about how the world works. Maybe this Read Aloud reminds you of a movie or documentary you watched about the US-Mexico border. I'm glad you were able to make those connections. I'm also glad you were able to join me for story time today. Until next time, take care of yourself and each other and stay curious.